to the all-female edition of the Comic Strays review of the new Ghostbusters movie. I'm Captain Steve. I'm Tony Terrorize, and we're going to talk about the new hit film Ghostbusters 2016. Where's Raymond? He's probably powdering his nose.
Hey guys, I know he said we're going to do our whole Ghostbusters 2016 review, and we're going to try to appeal to our female audience, but this is pretty weird.
Let's go.
Oh, did you want to?
No, did you want to go, Steve? Go ahead. Just go ahead, Steve.
I thought we were going to do it together.
Okay. Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Atomic Comet. I'm Captain Steve.
I'm Tony Terrorize.
And I'm Ray Monster.
And we're going to talk about the Ghostbusters 2016 movie that we just saw last night.
Ooh.
It was our first movie as a unit, so
literally as a unit. Yes. Like we saw it
in the handicap section.
Two seats, and I was crammed in the middle between these two guys.
And so we had seats together. So
yeah,
it's good experience. Good experience. All right. Well, let's talk about the movie. Our last predictions. I wanted it to be good.
I thought it was going to be what I had said. What I had said in a previous video. That it was going to be a real gem. It's going to be the highlight of the summer. We've had kind of a dry summer as far as movies go for the blockbuster season, the summer blockbuster season, and you know, I said that this movie was going to be the gem of the summer. It's going to make money 3 times, and we're going to have a good time with this movie.
Yeah,
Tony,
you were on the fence, right?
Was like in the middle, so I was like, it could suck, it could be good, but I was just more like, it didn't surprise me that it sucked.
The movie sucked.
The movie just
sucked. I don't know how to describe this kind of humor in this movie.
I think the humor made the movie shitty. I think the storyline was okay.
It was okay.
The humor wasn't there.
Spoilers.
Shit spoilers. Shit movie.
Spoilers.
Rotten Tomatoes gave this movie like a 78 rotten fresh. It wasn't not just like okay, it's fresh.
Well, that's where Atomic Comet comes in, because we are the definitive.
We bust the doors down.
We bust the doors down. We are the definitive.
We say like
we lay down the law when it comes down to movies and scores and reviews.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna have to say, Jesus Christ, I don't know what to say.
Okay, where do we begin? Let's just start with the plot. So Kristen Wiig, she's basically a college
professor.
She's a college professor, and
this is her first big time gig at a major university. Yeah, exactly. She wants to just, I guess, you know, show her worth and be like, okay, you know what, I can do this. This is my calling.
So the first scene is her like, you think she's talking to students and it's funny and she's a professional and there's nobody in the audience in her classroom. And that's kind of funny. It's not supposed to be hilarious.
She's trying to like she's
boosting herself up like anybody does.
They're talking in a mirror, basically.
And then she starts doing the whole booty shaking and dancing and stretching. And again, I could forgive that. Okay, she's warming up. She did that. She's very awkward. Okay, so she's there, and an old man's all like, "Hey, this is your book." Apparently, she was a real ghost believer at one time. She loved ghosts and paranormal. Now she's trying to be more, I guess,
by the
accepting.
Book.
Yeah,
she wants to be. She wants
her job.
Yeah,
she wants to be respected.
You can't be a professional and believe in ghosts because it's not scientific.
She said that there's no
scientific reason behind being of ghost. It has to be, you know, real physics and equation.
Teacher, guy comes, wants her autograph because she wrote a book about ghosts back in the day, and now she goes and sees her friend, and she's like, why did you publish this book? Because apparently it was supposed to be hidden because she wants to be
she wants to establish her credibility as a as a physicist or whatever she is.
As a legitimate,
reason.
And that's cool. I mean, and her friend, enter a fat girl, not funny, and she's not funny. And the first joke of the main joke is a fart joke.
Yeah.
They talk about EVP and they explain what EVP is. If
enter Melissa McCarthy and
which one is Miss McCarthy?
Well,
her.
The main
okay, and the big girl?
Yeah, the big girl.
Jasmine McCarthy?
Yeah.
Oh, what's the other one?
Christian Wiig.
Okay.
I only know them two.
And
Chris Hemsworth. Those are the only three I know.
Leslie Jones.
The potential lesbian?
Oh, Leslie Jones.
Leslie Jones and Michelle McKinney. Michelle McKinney.
There you go.
McKinney. We'll call her McKinney.
Michelle McCool. Okay, so they go and they're gonna tell her about an EVP that they caught, and you used to love ghosts. Remember that? And they're trying to get her to find her passion again. And she's all, got an EVP. Listen to this. It's about a haunting. She listens to the EVP. They get close. It makes a fart joke, and then they talk about it's coming from the front butt. And the audience, the few people in the audience that we saw were laughing. And
during the screening we had a few drunk people in our theater.
They left the theater, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people did leave the theater.
And you see, here's the funny thing about it is because they drank to have a good time to enjoy this movie, but they weren't drunk enough to enjoy this movie. They left.
He goes to the restroom and comes back, hey,
and people were throwing up. I'm not saying it's because of the movie, but it was just the symbolism of it. Like, wow. Yeah. And I've been in movies people walked out before when I was a kid, like Batman and Robin. And I went to see Hot Fuzz. A lot of people didn't get that humor, and people walked out on it. Mystery Science, the movie, people walked out on it. But this movie shouldn't have been a walkout movie. Like, you should just watch it and either you love it or hate it. I should have walked out. I don't know if y'all wanted to.
I wanted to, but it was we gotta stay strong. We gotta stay strong.
Exactly. As a unit.
Yeah. But people families left. Like one family left, and I was like, oh well, they're gonna come back and go pee or something.
They never came back.
And not at the beginning. They were midway to just, let's go. No babies were crying. Nobody was scared. It was just all like, okay, let's go. Our time is over. And they left.
Reached the halfway point, close their eyes and walk the kids out.
And it was a painful movie.
A lot of the humor was pretty bad. Some of the jokes, it was kind of ironic. A lot of the toned down, subtle jokes, like how you said, how you see her talking to her students, how you think she's talking to the students, and then it cuts to a shot behind her. Where the whole thing is empty. And it's like, oh, that's funny. It was kind of like a little fake out. Yeah. But to realize all of the fake out humor in this movie was funny.
It's funnier than the humor that was trying to be
the scripted humor, which by that
we realized improv.
The scripted improv. And I don't know if there's a word for it.
They kept doing like but
and it's like I call it the humor.
You didn't disclose that the vehicle was going to be a hearse.
They're all there.
I'm sorry, my uncle owns a funeral home, not an Enterprise rent-a-car.
And it'll be like us drinking a beer, and I'll be like, I really like this beer.
Hope you checked to see there wasn't a body in the back.
I don't really know.
And you'll be like, oh, because it's gold. And he'll be like, yeah, because it's and they'll all be and they'll talk over each other.
You didn't check?
I mean, I was in a hurry. I checked to see if we had gas. That was more important.
And they'll combine all their sentences.
So there is a body?
Let Hostman check. She likes that type of stuff.
Yeah, I can think of 7 good uses of a cadaver today.
And the camera will focus on everybody.
Dr. Frankenstein, we got to turn in the body if there's one in there.
All right.
And people are laughing.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
It's like if you went to a restaurant and said, I asked for no onions on my hamburger, and then he'll be like, he totally asked for no onions, and he's like, yeah, no onions. And then we're just like, yeah, I asked, and we're going on about onions
back and
for
forth.
10 minutes, and it cuts to the waiter, and he's all like, and that
was the
humor of this movie, and there needs to be a phrase or a coined term for humor.
It dragged.
But
I think you nailed it. The humor, where it's just repeatedly just trying to repeat the same stuff over and over
to make it funny.
Exactly, and you keep doing it until you get a laugh. What just kind of realized about that, it was that the humor and the physical humor too, which I noticed a lot of. Like, I kind of started noticing that in the beginning when Jenny
McCarthy.
Jenny McCarthy. She was
all fucking butchering these.
She was dancing. It's a scene where there's like conga music playing. She's dancing. She's getting real into it.
Holtz.
With the potential lesbian?
Holtz and Aaron are dancing.
Okay. Holtz and Aaron are dancing. And it's like kind of like this big little like, well, not even big. It's like this little like conga dance they're doing.
Right.
And it goes on forever. And they're doing this little like, he has a blowtorch. She lights it on fire.
I'm not just on fire.
And with that being said, it's like, okay, the dancing was, they kept prolonging different jokes, different scenes. They kept prolonging them.
Let's skip ahead a little bit, but what we're talking about is, following the thing. She gets kicked out of her school because they find her book on YouTube and Reddit and all this millennial shit. And they find it. She gets kicked out. She goes back with her friend, the other girl with the goggles, and they're all together. And now they're gonna find a new location to start up their headquarters. And lo and behold, it's the Firehouse building.
We get that little nod.
Yeah.
And I said, cool, the Firehouse building. And they go in there.
That's cameo number 2, right?
Well, cameo number 1 was Egon, which was
the statue.
The statue.
It was a bust, right?
It was a bust. And it didn't even look like him. It looked like Eraserhead. It didn't look like him. And I was like, that sucks. It should have been a painting. Their cameos could have been that painting from the second one where it's all 5 of them on there. That would have been, and just that would have been a cool cameo.
That would have been neat.
But that was Egon's cameo. Second one, they go to the Firehouse. And for no reason at all, these 2 grown women are running around the firehouse saying, look at us, look at us, look at us, we're having fun, and we're swinging around poles. And it was like, just to set up the joke of the rent being too much.
Yeah.
That's it. It's all it did. Oh.
And at one point you stood up and you're like, before I sit down, what the fuck is happening? Like, and I was kind of like,
he left the theater twice.
Oh no, I must have done it like 4 or 5 times. Not because I was trying to be funnier than them, but I had to pee. I didn't care.
Yeah.
I didn't care that I was going to go pee and miss a scene. There
and
was
Raymond's all,
nothing
where
in
did
it.
miss? Did the scene drag on?
There was
like,
one scene where they meet with the mayor, and I said, you know what, I can leave for a minute, and I left for a minute, and I came back.
And Raymond's all, what you missed?
I was like, what did I miss? And you literally said nothing, and I believed it because when I came back, they were pretty much talking about the exact same thing.
Damn.
Because I'm guessing it was another run-on joke. Because okay, in literature, there's run-on sentences where it's a sentence that goes on for 3 or 4 lines before you get a period or a stop or a pause. I feel like the movie had a lot of run-on jokes where you kept getting, 3 or 4 or 5 lines of like dialogue before you even get like the punchline.
Yeah.
And the punchline is like the beginning of the fucking dialogue. They'll be like, fart. Okay, that's funny. And they'll be like, fart, 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 fart. Mm-hmm. Yeah, fart, 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 fart. And they keep going. Like that was that whole fucking scene with the beginning where the EVP is all. That should have been it. They're like, it came from the front, and they kept going with it, and I was all like, but people were laughing.
That's what people were laughing because it was just like, what?
Oh, it's a fart. I know farts. They're funny.
There was a girl that did her. I totally do that.
Yes, she did.
I totally queef.
Oh my god! So we
you dirty bitch.
Wait a minute.
The Bill Murray scene.
What was that about?
Take it away, Steve.
The Bill Murray scene. He showed up after Egon's scene, which was the statue. Mm-hmm. He showed up and he was a ghost skeptic. He didn't believe in ghosts. And he was on a TV show, like a Wolf Blitzer CNN show, and he showed up and they asked him what he thought about the new Ghostbusters. And they said, do you believe any of this? And he was there in his hat and his glasses, and it was great. And I said, do you believe any of this ghost stuff that's going on? And he said, oh, hell no.
It's fake.
And that was that.
That was cool.
It was cool.
We get his cameo. That was our little like nugget of.
But then he came back.
After the girls beat.
He came back with a vengeance.
He came back
most foul.
after the girls captured Mayhem at the rock concert.
That big green demon thing.
They captured Mayhem at the rock concert, and I was like, okay, next scene. He wants to see you, whatever it is.
I want to see your ghost.
I want to see your ghost. Like,
show up to the Chinese restaurant. I want to see your ghost. We're not going to show you our ghost. I want to see it. We're not going to show it to you. The main girl, what's her name?
Erin.
Was like, well, she had issues because when she was a kid, she saw a ghost.
She wanted to prove.
So she needed to prove to him that it was a ghost, which is a highly predictable part, said, I'm not going to show him the ghost. It's whatever. And Fat Girl Not Funny was all like, good, I'm glad. So they walk away and she hits the trap. Trap opens up. Bill Murray's all like, hello. And the demon comes out, grabs him, throws him out the window, kills him, murders him.
Well, we don't know if he died.
He's dead.
There's police
the
tape.
next scene, there were like police tape.
And so now they're being questioned, like, well, which one of you guys threw the skeptic out the window? And again, it could have been good right there, because they could have been like, you guys are planning shit, but y'all are fake. Y'all are willing to kill to prove your point.
Oh.
Like, they could have gone with that story. They could have gone with that direction.
The problem I have with that whole scene was the fact that we have the Bill Murray cameo. We got it. We got our little, like, you know, 3 seconds of him.
Yeah,
that was enough. Subtly, less is more. Okay, less is more. That was funny. We get 3 seconds of him in that first little interview. But then we started getting him again when he walks into, like you said, the Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, talks about his glasses. It was my mom's glasses because they insulted his glasses, or his hat, I think, whatever.
And all of that was like 5 minutes of scene, which led up to Bill Murray dying, which added nothing to the plot.
Nothing.
That added nothing. It didn't advance anything whatsoever.
They're going to get arrested and have to go to trial? No.
Yes.
The mayor calls them and says, hey, he wants to see these people from a crime scene. Let's go. And they take him away.
That was 5 minutes that could have been used for, like, essential plot details.
So we never heard anything else about the man who died outside their window. They went to the mayor, and the mayor said, we know about ghosts. We got federal agents on it. Go ahead and stop what you're doing. Yeah, well, that was it.
That was it. What more is there to say?
Like, I don't even know what to say about this movie. It honestly insulted me, like, in a way of, like, it was more like degrading. Like, it was like,
it was
I don't
want to say it's Family Guy humor, but it was really family. It was really quick humor, fast. You gotta catch it.
Yeah. And but at the same time, it dragged on. Because if you didn't catch that quick humor, if you didn't catch on that humor, like you said, right away.
The run-on sentences was
it was like, come on, laugh. Are you laughing yet? Are you laughing? Are you laughing yet?
You're gonna laugh because we're gonna keep going with it.
Keep going until you get the laugh. So, I guess now is the appropriate time to talk about, I guess, the plot of the movie and the motivation of the antagonist, Rowan, which was okay. To start off again, let's retread on Rowan's character. He was a nerd who was picked on as a kid. That's the impression I got. Mm-hmm. I feel like maybe
they didn't really explain his backstory. They were just like,
but I got it. He was picked on. Yeah. He was treated unfairly, like shit, from a very young age, his whole life. So he wants to get revenge. He read the book that they wrote years ago to get inspiration to make these new devices to amplify paranormal activity, try to get revenge on the city. And he had this other little subplot of just releasing paranormal activity all over the city.
He's the one setting up the
which leads to a bigger plot of him making this big, because throughout the movie he sets up these tiny little amplifiers all over the city to amplify paranormal activity. But at the hotel, he works as a busboy at a hotel.
The Mercado, which is
in the Mercado
table.
Exactly.
That one scene where she's all like, the Mercado, that means table, and I'm like, I know how to defeat it with a table, and she's just smacks the person's back. Boom.
So Rowan, like I said, he was picked on. He had a rough upbringing, whatever. He wants to, I guess, bring up the next apocalypse. He wants to be,
apocalypse.
But he wants to bring up the end of times through these little devices which he created, by which he got inspired by reading their books.
And that really cool. That scene was kind of cool too.
Which was their, I guess, connection. I guess tying it together. Mm-hmm. And then, he works as a busboy at the famous Table Hotel, and he makes a bigger version of his paranormal amplification device in the basement.
With the portraits, I liked those little portraits. Did you see them?
The ghost, that was cute.
I was all like, oh, it's cool.
Beetlejuice.
So he makes this bigger device to amplify paranormal activity to the max, like times 1,000.
He's an asshole.
He has the dangerous ghost in those portraits all around the.
And so the way he tries to set up the mission, and so the Ghostbusters, of course, doing their little detective work, they discover where the amplification is.
The ley line book.
Yeah.
You're like, does that book say ley lines?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like ley lines are some activity where it can't be disproven. They talk about ley lines.
When she started doing the X's, like, I'm feeling really stupid right now. I feel like.
And so, just in case you didn't catch what they were saying, then she brings out a book that says ley lines for dummies, and it's all like, explain this, and it was like, oh god, well I got it. When y'all were talking about it.
Ley lines are apparently these, I guess, fields of energy.
Yeah, that intersect and make.
Yeah. And that was Rowan's
ghost related.
And that was Rowan's plot. He wanted to, I guess, amplify the center of the ley line, where the ley lines intersect. He wants to amplify the paranormal activity in that sector.
So he can become like the god, basically.
Yeah.
Or
so
entity.
The Ghostbusters find his hideout. They find his big amplification machine. So he says, "Well, I'm gonna start it now." And he touched the machines. He gets zapped and he dies. And that's wow, that was easy.
That scene took forever. Because you're the Ghostbusters and you're gonna catch this guy trying to set the machine instead of just going there and just beat the fuck out of him.
Well, you can't because they're not cops. They're not sanctioned by anything.
I would just beat.
And the government already told them don't do this because we already know about.
But 3 times she kept saying stupid shit in that scene where she's like, "Stop, Rowan." That scene where I can't say it. Like she was trying to come up with the word. Remember?
Okay.
What was she trying to say?
Let's not stoop through the level and keep progressing this. Let's just get straight to the point. He zaps himself, he dies, and you think, oh, that's the end of that. He killed himself.
No, we didn't think that.
Huh?
We knew that was not the end of that.
We knew, but
they wanted to make you think that.
Okay, from what the movie, projected to us, it said, okay, he zapped himself, he died. That was it. Problem solved.
Hard, like
problem solved. He died. So that was that. The cops,
The mayor betrayed them and said, "Thank you for saving the city." They arrested them and took them out of there and pounded their car, made them look like more frauds because they're on this paranormal. They know what's going on. Don't interfere, Ghostbusters. We know what's going on, even though we had no idea what they were doing this whole time.
Yeah. So then, what's her name? Erin. She starts reading more on his journal because Rowan he was keeping a journal of his activity and what he's been doing,
and he wanted to show that people can rule the world.
Yeah.
So that next scene, the scene that Steve hates, where I noticed too, where Rowan's dead. All of a sudden, you hear like stuff moving, and
in their little Ghostbusters warehouse.
Their little Chinese restaurant. She starts getting scared. Like, wait a minute. Who's there?
Fat girl, not funny.
And she starts running, and she starts getting scared. And what does Steve say?
I was like, why is she fucking running from these ghosts? And she's scared now. The beginning of the movie, she loves ghosts. She's hunting ghosts. She saw a ghost throw up ectoplasm on her best friend, and now that like she's falling over, they saw an executed. A fucking prisoner goes like chasing him, and her friend almost died. So now she's all like, "Hey, who's there?" And the door opens up, and there's nobody there. And she's like, "Oh my god!" And she's scared. And I was like, "Why the fuck is she scared?" She's a ghost hunter. She loves ghosts. Now she's scared.
You're just capturing ghosts in the movie.
You just went toe to toe with one.
You fucking manhandled mayhem.
And now you're like, "Oh, I'm scared." And that's when I went to go piss.
That's all.
And I came back, and it was the power of pain compels you.
I was just like.
Oh yeah, you came in right.
I came in at that part
because she started doing.
So when Rowan died, he turned into a spirit, which he used to his advantage. Which is what he wanted. He wanted to be a spirit because he wanted to manifest himself and become all powerful. So he starts possessing other people. He possesses Melissa McCarthy. They slap it out of her because the power of Patty compels. Yeah. The power of Patty compels me too. Yes. So once they slap it out of her, you see Chris Hemsworth there with the.
Which is weird because it was like what all of a sudden he never said he wanted to be part of the group. It wasn't like
no, he's an idiot.
In one scene he's just like I'm part of the group and I was like.
So once they slap Rowan out of her, it possesses him, and then he uses his body to his advantage and takes off and starts progressing with the second part of his plan.
A badass motorcycle, an Ecto-2 motorcycle with guns that were thinking like, oh, this. I was like, okay. Well, I wasn't into it, but I was like, okay, you never saw it coming.
No. So he uses Kevin. His character name is Kevin. He uses Kevin. Uses him to go. What did he do? He opened up the portal?
Well, because now he had the body.
Well, there's about 1,000 jokes about Chris Hemsworth being sexy. From the girls. And then when Rowan took over his body, he's like, I should have worked out.
He said it like 5 times. He said it a lot. He's like, I should have worked out.
He grabbed like somebody's all, I definitely should have worked out. I was like, okay.
And he grabbed someone, throws a cop. I definitely should have worked out.
And it was like,
walks into the room.
Yes, you should have worked out.
I definitely should have worked out in this form. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, so it just kept going on.
Oh, God.
And then he starts, when the cops and military start coming in, because he starts amplifying the paranormal activity at the Mercado Hotel, right?
He brings
yes, because once he died, I don't know if we said it, but he had a timer on his machines that once he died and the cops left, once everybody left the crime scene, his machines turned back on, and which gave him new life.
Okay. And then he's trying to...
So Rowan took over Chris Hemsworth, the main character. What's your name? Love must have found him attractive, and now they all want to rescue him, and he's being possessed by Rowan.
He fulfills the plan.
A lot of colors happen. A lot of ghost colors happen. A lot of Scooby-Doo happens, which I think I said last time. A lot of bright colors happen. Right. A lot of ghosts happen. Slimer comes out.
Slimer comes like, okay, that was our... Oh, the receptionist was our 4th cameo, and then Slimer was our 5th cameo. So Slimer comes out. And he just takes the car, and they're like, oh, we should have never... You left the keys in the car? No. I can't believe you left the keys in the car. And that went on for like 5 or 6 minutes. Oh, yeah.
You left the keys in the fucking car.
I like that they had their own different... Because you had the grenades, they had the vacuum,
God, the little sliming, like, I think the slime's on me. Man, it's so much to talk about.
Well, that part where she was being dragged, my glasses, I lost my glasses. Oh, no, wait, I have them.
They're in my hand. You fucking idiot. like, who loses their glasses in their hand? Like, I could put my glasses on my head and be like, where's my glasses? Oh, they're on my head. Okay. Yeah. So, my glasses, I lost my glasses. Oh, wait, they're in my hand. And people was all, like, people laughed. So
they all laughed at you.
They did, and it was stupid.
So finally, the girls are all ready to
hose them.
Yeah, they're gonna hose him. And Rowan's Rowan's in Chris Hemsworth's body, and he like
lets him go,
and they capture him. Okay, throw him out.
Okay, we love you.
I love you. Thank you. Get the fuck out of this movie.
Yes.
It needs to be our scene. They continue it, and all of a sudden, Rowan's all, what form would you like me to take? And then he's like,
this is like the original Ghostbusters.
Yeah. He's all, y'all choose.
You choose what you want me to be. You want me to be something cute and fluffy?
And then he's all, but he got weird and cartoony, like an actual cartoon.
He turned into an animation.
It went all Roger Rabbit. If y'all saw that part.
What?
Yeah. He was totally a Jigglypuff.
Yeah, and he was
a Pokemon Nintendo. I guess they got rights to him. Watch the movie. He turned into a Jigglypuff.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did. Like straight up Jigglypuff, like copyright Jigglypuff. He was a Jigglypuff.
He was okay, but he ended up becoming the Ghostbusters logo.
And Leslie Jones was all like, "I want something cute," and blah blah. And
like he's all, "Is this form?" And he ends up becoming the actual Ghostbusters logo, but a full form.
Yeah.
So that was like
got big. Tried to kill him.
The big circle with the cross around it turned into his little bow tie, and then he
tried to kill him. They ran away from him. They were blasting shit. They blasted a building. They burned his face. Made it more menacing. He was chasing them throughout the city. They kept going. They said, we got to reverse the polarities to get all the ghosts back in there. They didn't say crossing the streams. They said, no. They said nothing like that. They said, oh, well, let's get that nuclear bomb on the car, blow it up in the middle of the fucking portal, and we'll make everything reverse. And then she even said the part from the first movie. She's all, complete reverse blah 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 blah, which was like, oh, that's fucking cute if y'all were good, but y'all aren't. Y'all suck. So then here comes Slimer and Slimer's wife, which you predicted.
I was like, girl Slimer.
Yeah. Remember? Girl Slimer and a bunch of other ghosts on the car, which they didn't kill because apparently in the movie they could kill ghosts with their blasters, which I didn't think they could do, but they killed ghosts. Anyways, so here comes this big car. And let's narrow the path, ladies. And they narrow the path, make the car fly into the portal, blast the nuclear part. A nuke goes off, or a ghost nuke goes off. Slimer and his girlfriend go up like they're on a bungee ride, scream, fall back down. And now all the ghosts are getting sucked back in except Rowan. and they said, "Ladies, let's get him. Ready? 1, 2, 3," and they blast him, in the dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like,
That was like untasteful.
Cause they're women and they're sticking it to the man, or is that just me?
I think it's just crotch humor in general.
Oh, okay.
We get a lot of crotch humor in a lot of movies. You
So
know.
they shot him in the dick, and he went, "Oh!" Even though there was no genitalia there, he was a ghost.
he's a ghost.
He held onto his crotch.
He like Oogie Boogie.
And he was Oogie Boogie. He was a big Oogie
Yeah, he like Oogie Boogie
He did.
with the bow tie.
And he got sucked into his portal, but he grabbed a fat girl, not funny, and brought her down. And then her friend went down
I gotta go.
with a.
But that looked really CGI. Where she's just
Oh, that
like,
was stupid. That was straight up like if we did it right now. Like, that was dumb.
Like, she just jumped
as
in and
shit.
and it looked like.
Why do we need that extra like little climax of that added little danger of oh my god
I wasn't
the portal.
worried about her
I
or
wasn't
the
either.
world until she flew down, caught her friend. She thought, "I'm not going to leave you this time," which wasn't a big part in the original plot because it's not like you left me. They never even touched
they
on
talked
that.
about it once,
But it was never like
From
you
the
left
childhood.
me. Yeah, but it was never a heartbreaking thing like you left me when we were
they didn't
young.
have conflict during the movie to where they
She thought, "I'm
finally-
not going to leave you again," which is like, all right, caught her, take her back. They're coming back into Earth. Their hair turns white.
for whatever reason. I was like,
because they're in the ghost dimension.
And then the ghost and their hair comes out.
Danny Phantom.
And she's all like, "Oh my
Probably
god!"
why.
Well, the girl, the punk girl, the rebel girl's like, "No way, shut up!" Which is like, why shut up? What the fuck are you talking about?
So then Chris Hemsworth comes out. Man, Chris Hemsworth. That scene. That was like the 5th scene in the movie. So then he comes out, and he has a sandwich in his hand, and they're like, "Oh, where'd you get a sandwich?" At one point, I was like, "Where did he get the sandwich?"
Yeah, which would have been funny. He was like, I don't know.
I don't know.
That would have been funny.
He's
That's all you
like,
need.
All I know.
No, where were you during the whole time? Oh, I flicked the switch off. What do you mean? Yeah, I just, I
Start
flicked the switch.
flipping lights and buttons.
Yeah,
And I
okay.
saved you guys.
Okay.
Which is what he said. And I
But
was
she's
like,
all
okay.
like, "Well, where'd you get the sandwich from?" "Across the street." "Where across the street?" "Well, across the
there,
street at
deli.
that deli. That's all." "But you got tomato?" "Yeah, I didn't get tomato."
I got tomato. And they're like, "Wait, you mean to tell me that you got a sandwich while we were in another dimension saving New York City?" "Yeah, I did." "Okay," and then the other girl goes and said, "Wait, you mean to tell me while we were rescuing our lives from New York City, you went in?" He's like, "Yeah, I sure did." And that went on.
Yeah.
That point, Steve was just like, "We got it."
And I
in the
I
theater.
don't do shit like that, but that's how bad it was.
Yeah.
Can I say one thing that's going to be out of continuity, and I've been saving it since we hung out today?
Yes. Go ahead. You may.
Because none of y'all have brought it up since, and it's been in the back of my mind.
Just say it.
And I've been thinking about it. I was like, I'm not going to bring it up until we talk about it. The metal scene. The heavy metal scene. What the fuck was Ozzy Osbourne's part?
Yeah.
He goes, "Sharon, I'm having a flashback." And me and you were like, what the fuck? It had not a goddamn thing to do with this movie. And I was hoping I wouldn't bring it up, but it had nothing to do with it.
It was more of like, oh,
It's
who he is. Let's all laugh.
They
think it was
caught
more
Rowan, they hosed him, they caught him, they put him in the ghost trap, they caught their first ghost, everybody's celebrating,
Yeah.
and for no reason. Clearly, it's a scene of Ozzy Osbourne. You
No,
can
that
see
was
it
in the middle of the movie.
And they go, and action, and he's all, "Sharon, I'm having a flashback," and then it's just,
Yeah.
and it was like, what the fuck?
I forgot.
That
What do you
was-
mean you're having a flashback.
Now, yeah.
She bit the head off a bird or a bat or pissed on the Alamo. I can understand what you're saying.
He pissed on our
But
goddamn
just
Alamo.
having a flashback
Yeah.
of a big green flying demon? Wow! And I'm sure there are some people that found that
Because they recognize Ozzy Osbourne. Oh, I've seen him before. That's funny.
Ozzy.
Yeah. So I'm saying this whole movie is nothing but, social trends, things that are going on currently in our, modern society. Things that people are like, oh, we recognize that. It's fun, it's cool. Let's all give in to these,
And
I
let's
guess,
put it on the movie so everyone can laugh at what's going on.
Yeah. Nothing but social trends, nothing but things that, I don't know.
It's pretty rude that you're getting
What?
phone calls or something.
What's
right
going
now
on?
during that video.
Dude, there's a gas leak right outside.
No.
A gas
We
leak
are-
for what?
Pokemon Go.
No. Pokemon Go? The new app that everyone's talking about?
Yes.
No way.
Oh, you guys are doing jokes that appeal to everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Like the new
because-
Ghostbusters movie.
Exactly.
I'm catching that gas leak. I'll be back, guys.
You think he'll be back, Raymond? Raymond, you think he'll be back?
No.
You don't think he'll be back?
No.
I'm almost sure he'll be back.
He will be back.
Like later on, right?
Later on?
Like at least 4 o'clock in the morning.
4:30.
He'll probably come back.
He might come back.
That's what it's going to be about.
I think so.
Oh my God.